Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good evening, I'm Jim Freeman. Tonight, Israel launched new airstrikes at Hezbollah targets in Beirut. Bombs landed near the city's airport, the main point of entry of humanitarian assistance to the country and escape route for those fleeing the conflict. Israeli warplanes also pounded Gaza, leaving at least 87 people dead or missing. CBS's Deborah Pata is in the Lebanese capital with the latest.
Every fresh Israeli strike forces more people to flee. Thousands have been crossing the border into Syria. Those who cannot walk are carried across after Israel blew up the road going out. There are tearful goodbyes. It's hard to let go when you are sending your child into an uncertain future. Inside Lebanon, the displaced are everywhere, setting up makeshift shelters wherever they can.
Everyone tells us the government is doing nothing to help, which is why you see people sleeping rough in the streets.
It's been left up to aid organizations and the generosity of strangers to fill the gap. Ahmed Soufan runs a displacement center for just under 3,000 people in Beirut. We've reached our capacity and are already struggling, he told us. And if the war goes on any longer, then the situation is going to get even worse. Everyone hopes the war will end soon. But for 14-year-old Zahra, even hope is a luxury.
I'm scared of dreaming for the future because I don't know if we still live or no.
Kids will be kids, but their elders are worn out with worry. I'm all alone, Zainab sobbed. I don't like to cry. It's humiliating. We didn't harm anyone, so why are they harming us?
Already 1.2 million people.
It's been a really nice day across Eastern Kentucky, and that's going to continue into the beginning of the week. Let's take a look at those observed highs from today, and as you can see, mid to low 70s. Overall, just a really nice day. Sunny, not really any clouds in the sky at all, so that sunshine was definitely coming down. I know if I would have been standing outside, it probably would have gotten sunburnt, so thankfully I've been inside so far, but current temperatures were getting down into the mid 40s in some places and low 50s in others. Jackson still sitting at 61, but otherwise getting pretty cool again out there tonight. Low temperatures across Eastern Kentucky look like this. Could see a few high 30s yet again, but mostly mid 40s across the area. 48 in Prestonsburg, 43 in Wise, 44 in Hazard, and then over in Monticello sitting at 36. Now, I do have some good news for those lovers of more sleep. 2 weeks from today, those clocks are going to go back 1 hour, so they'll give you an extra hour of sleep before the rest of your Sunday. Jim?
I like that extra hour of sleep break. Thank you. A Laurel County paramedic is back home after a crash put him in the hospital. We brought this developing story to you last night. The president of Ambulance Incorporated of Laurel County says Lieutenant Will Bishop was returning from a call last night on East Highway 80 when he drove off the road. It's unclear what led to the crash. No other vehicles were involved. Bishop was airlifted to UK Hospital for treatment. Ambulance Incorporated says Bishop is back home and was, quote, just bruised and banged up. Governor Andy Beshear has ordered flags at all state buildings to be lowered to half staff, sunrise to sunset tomorrow. The occasion is for a Whitley County soldier who served in the Korean War. Raymond Hall of Mountain Ash was killed in the battle with North Korean People's Army Forces in July 1950. A graveside service and interment will take place tomorrow at the Calverton National Cemetery at Calverton, New York. It's been a little more than 3 weeks since Hurricane Helene made landfall, and folks in North Carolina are still trying to put their communities back together. Since the storm first hit, organizations here in the mountains have been stepping in to help. WYMT's Austin Hicks reports on the new relief efforts.
Homes washed away, families torn apart, and lives uprooted. Hurricane Helene devastated many folks in North Carolina, and here in the mountains of eastern Kentucky, many are doing what they can to help. Panbold Church and the Russaw Fire Department are collecting toys for the children that lost so much during the hurricane.
I was affected by the flood 2 years ago. I've got 6 small children, and I cried out for the Lord, and the Lord blessed me and stopped 4 inches short from them losing everything we had. So I know what these children are facing, and I want to help and do everything I can to make these children.
When communities here in eastern Kentucky were hit by the July 2022 flood, folks in North Carolina were instrumental in flood relief efforts, and now Fire Chief for the Russaw Fire Department says it is time to pay that kindness back.
As North Carolina come to us 2 years in a row back to back on Christmas, and they brought over 6,000 gifts each time they came for Christmas. And so with it being mid-October, we thought, hey, we better get on this.
At Panbold Church, one passage in the Bible was key in making the decision to help, an easy one.
It's just important to be able to give back. You know, God's golden rule, Matthew 7:12, man, it says we got to do others like we want to be done. And if we can't be that good, then what are we?
By collecting toys for the children impacted, the goal is to give them a little bit of hope during a difficult and scary time.
North Carolina come to us when we were in need. It's time that we return the favor. We support them in every way, and that's what we're hoping to do. We're hoping to make these children's Christmas a little bit more bearable than what it is.
Johnson says any other organization that wants to get involved with the toy drive should contact Panbold Church or the Russaw Fire Department. In Breathitt County, Austin Hicks, WYMT Mountain News.
Thanks, Austin. You can drop off any toy at Panbold Church or the Russaw Fire Department. Both locations are also still accepting supplies for flood relief. Kentuckians can now get a license plate that celebrates Red River Gorge. Created by Wolfe County Search and Rescue member Kevin Osborne, the plate shows off his painting called Red River Gorge Archway to Heaven. $10 of the $44 it cost to purchase the license plate will go back to the rescue team. Chief John May says as a team of nearly 50 volunteers, it will help alleviate several costs they face.
Outfitting those people, buying equipment, stuff's expendable, ropes wear out, clothing wears out, so you have to replace all that constantly. And this is, we hope, would be a way that people can have, a little slice of Kentucky, a very popular location on the back of their vehicle that, supports tourism within the state, and then also supports the rescue efforts of the Wolfe County Search and Rescue Team.
The plate is available in county clerk's offices throughout the state. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and folks in London gathered to raise awareness and support those currently battling while honoring those lost. Dressed in pink and racing for a cure, hundreds of people participated in the second annual Dash for a Cure race. Organizer Dawn Taylor says simply being there for those battling cancer can make a big impact.
Whether it be a mastectomy or chemo or radiation, and prayer. Prayer is an important thing. I've heard so many people say how much they really appreciated people praying for them and helping them through their ordeal that they were facing.
Taylor says proceeds from the event went to the Baptist Health Carlisle Keith Young Cancer Fund, furthering their support for those battling cancer by paying for transportation, forms of therapy, and more. Fall is here, and folks are out celebrating the change in season with some family, fun, and food. The Summit Church in Hazard hosted its Fall Family Night, where parents and their children got to spend time with others and enjoy some fun activities. Pumpkin tosses and hay barrel rides were just some of the activities kids participated in. Pastor of Summit Church, Mark Combs, says the event would not have been possible without the help of the community.
It's just great to see so many people in our church get excited about providing this. People came and they built the pumpkin launcher that's in the back so kids can do that, the hay ride and everything. And so it's just great to see so many people step up so that people can really take advantage of it.
Pastor Combs says the church hosts events like this one 3 times a year, and anybody is welcome. Coming up at 11, Election Day is getting closer. We'll take a look at what candidates are doing in the final days on the campaign trail.
That warmer weather continues to stick around for parts of eastern Kentucky, but we do have a cold front on the way. I'll have the details coming up in just a few minutes.